Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you hear me clearly?
Waalaikumsalam.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, madam.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. All right. Currently, we have about 12 students, and a few more are coming in. I will have to admit them individually. Is my sound clear enough?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, Doctor.
Aizat and Najib, did you say something?
Yes, I can hear your voice.
Najib?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't hear you. What is that?
Okay.
We can hear you, Doctor.
Oh my God, no. My headphone is on. All right, sorry. Okay, now can I test again? Can you hear me, and can I hear your audio, please?
Hello, Doctor.
Yes.
Sorry. Sorry, my headphone was actually connected to the computer, so that's why I can't hear you. All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening. Yeah. My name is Khadijah Muhammad Isa. I'm a lecturer at the Department of Accounting. Currently, I'm on sabbatical leave, but I take this opportunity to share with you, right, on managing long documents. Right, I hope that, right, the knowledge will be beneficial, if not all, but to most of you. I know that you are actually doing your master, or some of you are doing your PhD. Right, hopefully the information that you will learn today will help you to write better, not write better, to manage your documents better. Yeah, because at the end of the day, everyone is expected to submit a thesis. Either it's a master thesis or a PhD thesis. Yeah, so hopefully this today's lesson will help you, all right, with regard to your writing. Okay, so yeah, forgot to, oh, who is actually recording? Mas, are you recording? Thank you. I pun tak ingat nak record. Alright. So what we are going to have today, I have shared the information, alright, what the slide and the document in your Google Classroom. I hope that you have actually checked your Google Classroom. I have put in two documents. One is the slide that I'll be using today, as well as a plain document. Alright, it's a Word document. Yeah, so where is this? So I have put in this document. Can you see it now? Right. So
Yes.
how we are going to do today is that, hold on, yeah. We, based on the plain document here, we are going to do a hands-on activities. Yeah. While I'm teaching you, I also want you to work that on your own laptop. So I hope that everyone has your own laptop so that you can immediately practice what I'm going to teach you today. Yeah, but I'm not sure the level, your level, whether you already know about all these managing long documents, all right, with regard to the heading, the style, the caption, right? So if you already know, then maybe this class is not meant for you, right? But if you have not learned this before, then you are the right person. Okay. Okay. I want you to open the documents. Where is it? The classroom. Okay. I want you to use the plain document. I want you to open that document, and you're going to work on that. Okay. And at the end of the class, I want you to fill up this attendance form. Not now, because I will ask your feedback regard to what you have learned today. Yeah, so you have to only fill up the attendance form at the end of the class. All right, so coming back, so what are we going to do today is that, all right, I give you a sample documents, yeah. This is actually a paper that have been published. All right, it's my paper. All right, maybe I share with you how, hold on, yeah. Where's my paper? Okay. So this is the paper that I'm using, but the one that I give you is the plain paper. It means that it has not been formatted, all right? As if we have not submitted to the publisher, all right, or to the journal for publication, but we're going to format this paper, all right? Of course, it will not be something like it because this one is based on the journal's formatting, all right? But the content is the same, but I just add on a few more, right? So how are we going to look at all this later? Yeah, so how can we make our paper, all right, in this form, right? Based on the one that we have, based on the plain document, all right? So before we go, all right, can we have some ice breaking session? I punya ni banyak sangat ni. Where is my mana I punya Gmail? Okay, can we have some ice breaking session in terms of your experience in using the words itself? Anyone has the experience to make use of all those headings? We have about 20 here. What about Isaac?
Yes, Doctor, sorry.
Yeah, have you used, how do you prepare? How do you use your Word so far?
I try to use all the functions that I know.
Such as?
I think it's more or less the same like the others.
Mm.
Mm.
But have you used the heading before, the style?
Once or twice maybe in my work, but that's it.
All right. Okay. Oh, so you're a master student or PhD?
Master.
All right. What about Farah?
Yes, madam. Same with Isaac. I use only the basic one, like maybe edit the page, maybe mailing, only like that. Not the complex one.
Okay. Lastly, let's say Nasra.
Madam,
Yeah.
I have also used Word, and for example, when I was preparing for my graduation for bachelor's degree, so it was I just used it and the headings and how to change the colors and the fonts and design the page of your book that you are going to present. For
So,
example, reviewing, using the spelling corrections.
so it means
Those
that I think
simple
that
basic.
you're already at the intermediate, if
Yes.
not expert level. Isn't it?
Well, I'm an intermediate, not an expert. Sorry for that.
All right. Okay. All right. Because we have many actually to cover today. All right. So I may not be able to ask everyone. All right. But if you have any issues, if you have any problem, if I'm too fast, all right, because I will have that problem. So you just stop me, all right, and you can just ask the question whenever you need.
Right.
All right. Okay. So managing long documents, you are going to use Microsoft Office Words. All right. So this is, I believe most of you, if not all right, are using MS Word. Yeah. So what we are going to look into today is that is a very common, the one that you're looking at, the home button. all right, where we are looking at the font, the numbering, the spacing, the style, right? So this one just an overall just looking at the most common use, yeah. But maybe you do not realize actually there are more that you can use, all right, in the words. The second one, we are going to apply and we're going to modify style. All right, for example, most is on the normal. All right, if your normal paragraph, you call it as a normal paragraph, and then your heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. And then we are going to look at how do you have to format your table figure. Yeah, because remember.
Dr. Khadijah, are you sharing your slide or what?
Oh, am I not? All right.
Are you sharing your slide?
Okay, yes, I will do it now because today I stopped, so I forgot to. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we are going to look at how you can format your table, all right, and so that it looks presentable. For example, all right, it really kills my eyes if I see that, okay, table that should be, the column should be on centered, but student just leave it left or right margin, all right. So things that where you can improve, because your documents is what is being seen by the examiners, all right. Before it's being read, it's seen, yeah. So you want it to make love at first sight, for example. So I always want my paper to be like that, right? And then we're going to look at the layout, all right, layout of the papers, for example. Sometimes later you'll see that in your thesis where we normally use the portrait, all right, but sometimes your table may be too wide, all right, or your figures are too wide that you have to put it into a landscape mode, all right. So how can you have your document, all right, all is a portrait mode, all right, for example, the A4 mode normally like that, but now you want to be on a landscape mode. So how can you do that? Because in order to do that, you have to learn how to make a section break, all right. So we're going to look at the break, for example, how can we have a page break, for example, and how can you use section break, and how does it help you in your in the paper, all right. For example, right, have you seen that let me show, for example, my this for example, yeah, I punya thesis, yeah. So this one I just show you that this is my thesis, all right. You know that normally your thesis on the first few pages before your chapter 1, all right, you usually didn't have this Roman number, all right, and you don't have that page number on the first page. But then from page number 2 onwards, you are going to have the Roman number, all right? So you have the Roman number until your, for example, just before your chapter 1. So all this calligraphy is using the Roman number. But when you
sorry, Dr. K. Someone wants to join. Can you please admit? Thank you.
I have not seen her name yet.
Oh, tak ada
Kalau ada, dia akan bunyi ting tong.
Okay. Sorry.
Or maybe later, just let me know lah. Okay. So how can we have that? All right. In one document, you have numbering, page numbering with a Roman number, and then followed by you have your chapter 1 that is started with your because we'll call Arabic number. All right. I don't know why they call it Arabic number, but it's an Arabic number. Yeah, so from 2 onwards, then you have your Arabic number. So how can you have that in your thesis? Yeah, in your master thesis or even in your PhD thesis. Okay. When I say that, for example, how you want to have, let me see, list of figures, for example. All right. So this is where, for example, here you have portrait, and then suddenly later you want it to be on a landscape mode. How can you do that? Okay, so that's what we're going to learn today. All right, and at the end, for example, from the plane, the one that I showed you earlier, this, all right, so we don't have any formatting here, so you can't see any heading here on the left side that you can refer to, right? For example, my thesis, because I have made all the headings, so whenever I want to refer to the thesis, the specific topic, or for example, so I can just click at the left side where I have the navigation pane, right? So the panel will help me to go through the thesis or to go through my documents faster. So I know where to go and it's easier. Yeah. And you can only do this if you have format your documents correctly. Yeah. So from this document, the plain document, so we're going to have it like this, where you have your table of content, all right, with all the list of table where you don't have to do this manually, right? You're going to have a caption for each of your table, and then you can put that list of table in your thesis. Similarly, you can also have your list of figure, all right? So how can you do this in your thesis later? Not only for your thesis, or even when you submit your project paper, or whenever you submit your journal article, all right, all these should be something that you are trained to do it, right? So that because it helps you to, all right, maneuver over your paper, right? So this is what I have actually put that into formatting, but we are going to start with the plain document, all right? Okay, coming back here. So at the end of the day, we're going to have a proper paper that looks good, that you can actually apply that in your thesis. Yeah. Okay. So what is a style? All right. When I say mention about style, all right. If you look at your okay, maybe I should change this to here. All right. So this is where we refer to when talk about style is on this area, right? I don't know. Yeah. So this is actually what we are referring to, the styles here. Yeah. So this is how you're going to apply your document, all right, whether the paragraph, normally this one should be a normal. So whenever you have the paragraphing here, all right, the paragraph, we call that later, if you put that into a style, it will fall under normal. Yeah. And then if this, for example, the introduction here, we are going to call that as heading, for example, heading 1. Then, so for you to decide whether the article, the heading is heading 1 or heading 2 or heading 3, so that is you as the author, all right? You as the writer should know, all right, whether the paper that you write is whether it's should be the heading should be heading 1, heading 2, or heading 3. No one else would know except the author himself. Yeah. So you must know your paper lah. You must know what you write, and then that's why the planning is very important. Okay. All right. So when you start here is that when, for example, you format, all right, you format your paragraph as a normal, all right, the style is normal, then you format how you want the normal to appear. All right. So remember that when you submit your thesis, or whenever you submit a paper for publication, you must know as an author, you must know what is the format required by the publisher or by the university. All right. For example, you know that it requires that all the paragraph to be Times New Roman. All right. Font size is 12. Or a double spacing, and it has to be justified. So this is the common requirement, all right, for a thesis. But paper, maybe it requires you to have a single spacing rather than a double spacing. So you want all your normal, your paragraph to appear in such format, all right? So once you set the format, all right, then it applies throughout your document. And later, for example, you decided that, oh, I don't want my font to be Times New Roman. I want my font to be, for example, Calibri, yeah? And size is 11. Then you actually change not the document, you change the style, all right? You change the style, the normal style, you change the style, then it will automatically applicable to all your normal style. Right? So that's why, all right, we want to use this so that because it will help you to make changes faster, right? And because remember that one document may require certain format, the same document may be require a different format by another publisher, for example, yeah? So you don't have to do that manually, you can do that automatically, right? Using style. right? And applying a whole group of format at the same time. So that's what it meant be, right? So later we'll see how we can do this, right? So the advantages of using style is that your document is consistent, all right? Improved by using style, and then you can easily make major formatting changes, and it saves a lot of time. Yeah. Okay, so what we are going, there are many types of style, right? So, but what we are going to concentrate today is on the paragraph styles, right? Control aspect of paragraph appearance, such as text alignment, tab stops, line spacing, borders, and character formatting. All right, I won't do everything, but the main one, right? Definitely, inshallah. All right, so we are going to do that later. Okay, and then how we are going to modify. So let's go into your the plain formatting. Sorry, the plain document. Are you there? Okay.
Yes, madam.
All right. So once you have this document open, I want you to on. Do you see this? The P. I do not know what you call this. Is what do you call this actually? If you click this, all right, you'll see that they are the blue color. Can you see that? This. Can you see the?
Yes.
We call it as a petrol station or what? I don't know. Right? So you'll see that there are a lot. So what it means here is that whenever you have it means that you click your written key one time. You see that? If you click one more time, you'll see the two petrol station there. You have 3 petrol stations. Do you see that? So whenever you switch on this button, all right, it will tells you what is actually the format that you have, not the format lah, what you have actually keyed in into the document. All right. For example, if you see that this blue one do blue dot here, it means that you have single spacing. All right, you not single space, you tekan space one time lah. For example, all right, for example, here I have clicked 2 times. All right, the space bar. Yeah. So why is it so important here? Because you want to see how the paper actually, because you can have actually, for example, the convention is that whenever you have a period here, all right, after full stop, normally you should have 2, apa nama dia? 2 space bar. Right. So that's the common convention. Okay. So what I want you to know to learn today is that we do not want to see this enter or the paragraph unnecessarily. All right. So for example, here you have 1 here and here. And students sometimes, all right, they want to go for the next page. What they do is that, okay, I want this to go to next page. They tekan written until it goes to second page, all right? So what happens is that when you have so many, all these returns, all right? So whenever you add in, all right, for example, I write, for example, yeah? So for example, here, I add on many things here. So you see that the research approach, the one here, already moving down, all right? So it will affect whenever you have addition, a paragraph, all right? So if you use a lot of this, we don't want to use this, all right? So whenever you see those enter keys, all right? So it means that, oh, this paper is not actually being well prepared, nah? All right? So never mind, we leave it like that. Okay, so and then see there are 2 here. So what happened is that if you do not learn this thing, all right, when you prepare your thesis, you will see that, all right, some people say that, okay, it should be 1 inch from the heading to another, right? So that's a way actually, instead of using the enter, all right, because you want, okay, from this one, okay, I want it to be far, all right, then you put 2 enter there. Yeah, so it's wrong. That's not the right way of doing it. Yeah, so I hope that we learn this later. Okay, so what I want you to do now is that, okay, let's learn how to apply the styles. All right, so let's see. Okay, do you know how to control all? All right, control all blah. To select all. All right, so normally you will have to control A, isn't it? All right, bear with me because I'm using MacBook Air. So the command for command for control is command, right? So sometimes I say command A. So it means that it should be control A. All right. Are you familiar with this command, control A, control C, control V, control P, control B, control U, control I? Do you know all those?
Only know, not all, yes.
What? Which one?
Only
Control
Control B, Control C, and Control S.
C, control V, ya. Copy paste je you all tahu, eh?
Yeah.
So it is very easy because you know that if you want to bold, then control B, bold. If you want to underline, control U, underline. Italic, control I, right? And then if you want to redo, control Z, control Y, or undo, control Z. Anyone take notes of this? Because it works fast. I do know some people like to use the mouse, right? And click, copy, paste like that. So I'm yang jenis control lah. Yeah. So if you can't follow me, you stop me, right? Because I tend to go very fast. Okay. So what I want to do now is that select all. How do you select all documents?
Control A.
Control A. So let's control A. Do you have that? Okay.
Yes.
So now I want you to go to the style. I want you to click normal. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to set the whole document as a normal style. So normal style means that the paragraph punya style lah. Right? So we're going to click that, normal. So now you see that all your paragraph, right? Kalau you click dekat situ, you can see that, oh, dia dah click. Nampak tak dia macam ada, it has some kind of indicator. Oh, this is the normal punya style. Okay? Alright. So, but this normal style, alright, do you like the how it looks like now?
No.
Why? This one you feel like, oh, macam it doesn't look like a paper lah kan. Macam mana punya paper tadi. So what do you see? What you want to change now? How do you want it to be? How it should be?
The paragraph should be properly
And just for this one lah. How does that different from the one that we see just now? Paragraph should be, you see, justify. All right, correct. One,
Justify and separate paragraph.
All right, from paragraph to paragraph, there should be some space.
Or
Isn't
some
it?
space.
All right. So what else do you want it to be?
The title should be
Title again?
should be bold.
Bold, okay. All right. Never mind. Don't look at the title yet. All right. Let's do the paragraph one. This paragraph. All right. You want it to be justified. Take note, yeah. You want it to be justified. What about the font? What font do you want?
12.
Let's make it Times New Roman 12. Okay. So you set this whatever the format that you want it to be, all right? But if you want to change that later, you can just click modify, all right, and do the correction, and everything will be changed automatically, all right? So when we want Times New Roman 12, we want to be justified, and then we want to have a space between. Yeah. So how are you going to do that? So remember that this whole thing will apply because we have said that everything would be this one now at this level. The whole document is in a normal style. So we click again. All right. We just go to anywhere. All right. Click normal. All right. And you right click. Then you see that you see modify here. Can you see that? So you click on that modify. So what we are doing now is that you're going to modify the existing paragraph format to the one that you want it to be. All right. For example, what can you change now? It's already Times New Roman, and then you want it to be 12. What else you want it to be? Single spacing is already here, single spacing. But currently it's aligned to left. But you are not able to click justify text. It was disabled. then how can you make it justify then? All right. These are the spacing, for example, between, but so at this point, all right, normally I will only change the formatting in the form of Times New Roman, all right, the font of the paragraph and the size. Whether you want it bold, italic, underline is also here, but normally for paragraph we do not want it to be in bold. Yeah. So then, are you following so far? So now we have formatted the normal, that we only change that the font here, font size is only from 11, now it becomes 12. Okay, I want you to click to format at the bottom here on your left side. Can you see that? Okay, go to paragraph. Okay, what font here? All right, let me show you lah. Kalau you pilih font, right, it will just go to font lah. So it goes detail lah, the font. So normally I don't go, because normally I just want Times New Roman macam tu je. Right? So I don't normally go into font, but most important is I want you to go to paragraph. Click paragraph, then you give you a more detailed formatting for your paragraph. Right? You get that? Okay. So now only you can click your alignment of the paragraph for the normal format. You want it to be, which one? You want it to be justified. So you click justified lah. All right. And the outline level, so paragraph normal is normally, we call it as a body text. So you can leave it as it is lah. All right. And the direction of focus, because it's English, right? So you write, you type it as from left to right, right? So that's the how it looks like. Okay. So what is this indentation? All right. Indentation means that, all right, for every
Madam.
Yes.
Madam, I'm sorry, I cannot find my button format.
Format. Okay. You okay? Tadi kan you masih dalam. Hold on ya. Okay, again, style, kita kan normal tu, you right click dapat modify. Okay. Okay, we have changed, kita kata kita tak save lagi kan? So dah akan 12. Format kat bawah ni. Can you see that? Format at the bottom left, then you click on paragraph.
Okay.
Okay. So because if what I'm showing you, alright, you tak dapat, you tak jumpa, you don't know where it is, you better tell me, because alright, if you are searching for it, then I was talking here and then you'll be left out. Okay, so now let's do that again. Alignment is going to be justified. Okay, it depends lah. Some articles may want it to be left alignment, right? But normally it's a justified, yeah? Okay, what do you mean by indentation? It means that how you want it to be, alright, for every paragraph, the first word, will it be indented or not? Yeah? Or you want it the whole paragraph to be indented or not, yeah? So you have before text and after text. So sometimes you want the paragraph, for example, especially if you do have a quotation. Later we look into this now. Quotation means that normally the paragraph will be indented a bit to the right, and on the right side will also be indented, right? So that's how you like that lah, right? Dia akan indent. So in this case, kita tak nak benda tu. Alright, we don't want it to be indented a bit. But we want it to be, for example, can you see this? Mana I punya paper tadi? Hilang. Okay? You see that this, the first word is indented to the right. Yeah, the first word of the paragraph is always indented to the right. So that's what we call it as. So instead of you indent before text here, you put it like this. All right, first line, all right, will be indented by 1.27 cm. All right, so currently, all right, your plain text, everything is on the left side. So now what you want to do is that the first letter, is it first letter? First word of the paragraph will be indented a bit. All right, 1.27 is the default. Right, if you want it to be more or less, you can always change it here lah. Alright, so you want it to be less or more, right? Normally it's okay, right? Whether, for example, you put 1.5 pun dia akan jadi 1.5 lah. Okay, so what happen is that it will be the first word will be indented. What about the spacing here? Alright, line spacing, you want it to be single or double spacing, it ups to you. Right? So let's say that we want it to be single, so you put it single spacing. But if your, for example, your thesis is double spacing, then you click double spacing. All right? But the space between one paragraph to another is what we call the spacing here. Right? So normally, all right, is 6 point or is 12 point. Yeah. So as you click there, you see that they show you how it will appear in your paragraph in the box there. Can you see if you add on? All right. See what happened? Because the before the paragraph there will be a space. All right. So the more space, the higher point means that the space between paragraph will be more higher. Yeah. So normally, all right, for paragraph, we normally have 6 or 12 depending, right? So let's make it 12 now. And at the same time, after paragraph, you also want it to be 12, yeah? So let's see what happened, all right, if you still remember how it looks like, all right, tak nampak sebab kita dalam tu. Okay, so let's click OK and see. I hope that you still remember how it looks like before and how it turns out to be after we format. So you click OK and OK. Right? So you'll see that, ni bukan apa ni. Apa ni mana plain kan? You see that? Nampak tak? What's the difference now? Can you see the changes?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes.
One is that, for example, this one is now justify. It's double line. Was it double line? Double spacing. All right. And then the first word is indented.
Indented,
and then you see that the space between here is there a space there. So you know that this now we put it as a 12. So you know that okay, this one 12 ni maknanya untuk your thesis it should also be 12. Alright, because if you make it less, alright, for example, you can always modify, right? So whenever you modify, it will automatically, alright, adjust for the whole normal punya font lah. Alright, kalau I letak benda ni 6, you see the difference ya. You akan nampak benda tu akan less. Right, the difference here nampak. So I'm not sure, maybe for your, sebab masalah the problem is I noted that alright orang because you do have that thesis punya guidelines, alright, but they don't tell you actually. They say that is by, I do not know, I haven't seen that long time. I think that they just put okay, this one must be berapa cm, alright, but actually you use this, you don't use ruler to measure that, right? You use 6 point or 12 point. You get me? All right. So here you actually, so the whole paragraph, because just now we choose the whole document as a paragraph. So that's what a normal setting. So but you do not want this. So because bila you dah cantik macam tu, right, you do not need this, right? You do not need that anchor point to separate or to what do you say that? To jarakkan or to see whenever so you nampak you cantik dah you punya document. So this is your, for example ni kenapa P70 kat sini? Ni I rasa kat sini, right? Okay. Okay. So it looks better. Okay. Alright. Now we have done for your apa nama dia? Okay, kenapa introduction ni ke sini dia kira introduction ni sekarang kita punya setup introduction is normal. Should it be normal? No. Because why? You know that your introduction should be what it should be?
Middle.
It should be on the left. That depends again on the format that you require. Alright, so but you know that the introduction should not be under normal style, but your introduction should be heading style. Nampak? So you click lah introduction to as heading. For example, alright, you can also have mana literature review you. Ni sebab tak buat ni kenapa hilang. Okay, you whenever you want you can go to anyone. You don't have to block everything. Alright, as long as you go to that, right, you can just click heading 1. Okay, again, alright, the author only know lah which one heading 1, which one heading 2, right? So for example, this one pun bila ada, whenever you see this, you know lah something is not right lah bila ada benda-benda ni, ya. Okay, mana ni saya banyak-banyak ni salah ni. Okay, research approach should be heading 1. Are you following so far?
Yeah.
I want you to do that the same, yeah. So you choose research approach, but research participant, alright, because for example, research approach is under research methodology. So under research methodology, you can have your research participant, your sampling, your data collection. So all this is under your research method or research approach. So my research participant should not be heading 1, but it should be heading 2. Alright, so let's just choose that style first. Later we do the modification, because I want you to see that whenever you have choose that style, whenever you modify, it will be automatically done for you, right? And research participant here, alright, because this is my method. So I know that when I see research participant, I see that first phase focus group interview, I want to talk about participant that involved in my phase focus group interview. So I have 2 phases. So the participant for my focus group interview, so this would be level 3. Why is it level 3, heading 3? Because this is actually the sub-topic or sub-heading of my research participant. Alright. So for example, my, okay. So far so good?
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, Dato'.
Alright, this one is your table. So later kita tengok kenapa table ni jadi huruf hara. Why do you think, just now nampak table cantik kan? But why do you think that table now jadi kiosk like this? Any
That's
idea?
normal.
Yeah, because just now we have everything to be normal. So bila normal is 2 space. And then everything is indented and everything is justified. Right? So that also applicable in your table lah. Right? So that's why next time you janganlah pilih you dah buat all your document and suddenly you select all and then you buat baru nak buat formatting. It's wrong lah. Alright? You should do your formatting before. Right? Otherwise you akan buat 2 times punya kerja lah macam what is happening now. Right? Because I want to show you how is supposed or not supposed to be done lah. Okay. And then what else? Okay, this second phase on page, kita page number pun tak ada masuk lagi. Right, so this second phase mixed mode survey, it should be on page 9. So that one is also level 3. Okay, later we are going to modify those, yeah. And then I just want to finish a bit more. I'm going to put what else? Alright, mana dia tadi? Macam nampak finding. So findings ada 2 findings. I'm going to put my findings from focus group as heading 1. Right, and then I also have my findings from survey on page 16. Right, that one will also be heading 1. Okay, and then this one finding is the text related difficulty is the subheading for my finding from my survey. So I'm going to put that under heading 2. Yeah. What else ada? Banyak lagi kan ni? Banyaklah pula kan? Alright, so this one is also part of the findings, heading 2. And then, never mind, if you're not following, it's okay. I just want to just a bit more, yeah? Overall results is heading 1. Okay. Hopefully after this dah conclusion, yeah? Mesti marah you all ni. It's okay, take. Heading 1, and then conclusion is, mana dia? You see conclusion? Conclusion here is also heading 1. Okay, right? So what happened is that one more references pun kita akan buat heading 1 lah. Okay, so whenever you have click headings, alright, so the good thing about this is that now if you want to view your file, you go to view, you want it to have a navigation panel, so you click your navigation pane here. Are you following? So once you have that, before this you tak ada tak benda ni. Alright, you click navigation pane and this one is the paper. Choose the second one. All right. Then you have all this. Why? Because you already have formatted your document according to the styles. So it shows you here. All right. Let me save this document to be plain. Hold on, yeah. I put it as formatted. Right? Because kalau I nak tengok I punya plain document tadi, mana plain? Ni dah I save kat mana tadi? Ni dah nama formatted. If I were to open up again my plain document, kat mana lah pula? Doa. Sebenarnya. Managing document, plain.
Doktor, tadi kat mana ya yang navigation tu?
Sekejap. Right.
View.
Dia dekat view kat atas tu. Okay. Kalau I pergi dekat I punya dokumen yang plain, alright, I pergi dekat view. I want to hit navigation pane. Do you see this? Laili ke tanya tu?
Ya, saya. Okey, doktor nampak dah.
But then you jangan ambil yang page macam ni. Kalau page macam ni you nak tengok overall paging macam tu lah. Cepat sikit lah kan. Tapi you nak tengok the headings here. So
Okay.
kenapa tak ada kat sini? Anyone? In the plain document, sebelum kita format, alright, nothing is on the navigation pane. Why? Because it's not formatted. So if it's not formatted, you cannot see lah the headings. Right? But the one that we have formatted, alright, then only you can see the heading in the navigation pane. Is that clear?
Yes, doktor.
Right. So sekarang ni, right, you have the introduction as your heading 1 and then you can move around kat sini je lah. Nak research approach ke, nak finding ke, so that will make you punya ni faster lah the navigation of your document. Because remember that your thesis will be very long, right? Kalau you tak ada buat all these things, you nak scroll every time you want to go somewhere. Alright, so that is so a waste of time lah. Alright, so what you normally see in the thesis, alright, now dah ada heading tapi something is missing. What is missing here? Anyone? Introduction, research approach, literature review, apa yang tak ada kat depan tu? What is
Paging.
Okay,
Paging.
let's insert paging. Insert, how to insert page? Insert here and then you go for page numbering and page number lah. Alright. Position is bottom of page. I normally choose, I do not know, I always choose right, center. Alright, show number on first page. So this is the difference because remember just now I showed you that my thesis on the first page tak ada number. Second page baru ada nombor 2. Right, so this how you click or unclick lah. So kalau I unclick here, alright, show number on first page. In this case kalau I click then first page ada number 1. But if I unclick this one, first page you have no number. Second page akan number 2. Start with number 2 immediately. Yeah. So I want it to be on the first page. So I just click OK lah. So now I have my page numbering here. Alright. So if you want to format your page numbering differently, then it's okay. So the best one, you know how to insert your page numbering. So what else is missing in the heading? Anyone? Kalau you tengok thesis lah, chapter 1, you akan nampak apa kat depan? Chapter 1, then you have introduction. What should be in front?
1.1, 1.2.
Yes, the numbering is not there. Right? Because in a thesis, normally you do need the numbering. So how can you do the numbering? Anyone? How do you want it to appear as 1.0 introduction, 2.0 literature review, and then for example, research participant should be 3.1. Anyone? Mana?
Table of contents.
Table of content? Kat mana tu kat table of content? Ha. Kat mana table of content? Okay, soalan jawapannya salah. Anyone else?
Numbering library.
Numbering library. Where is that numbering library? Tell me. Which
Home.
button should I click on?
Dekat home.
Home. Okay, now I'm
Bawah
home.
sini tu mana?
Then?
Bawah review.
Bawah sini. Okay, here. So that's correct. So we have numbering here. This one is the bullets point. Right, the one is for bullet list. Alright, for example, kalau you ada list, you akan pakai this one. This one numbering ni kalau you just have number 1, 2, 3 or ABC, right? Something or just numbering ABC could be a Roman number. That one can. For example, if you do a list, for example, yeah. But if you have a 3.1, 3.2, 3.11, 3.12, so you have to use this what we call multi-numbering, alright? So which one that you choose? I normally choose, I will choose this format list library here. I choose this format. Alright, I click that, then it will be automatically applied to my whole format. You see that? Now I have, you see here, introduction 1, literature that we do. Alright, research approach is 3, research participant 3.1, and then we have 3.1.1, 3.1.2. See? So all these are automatically done for you rather than you nak masukkan satu-satu. Right? So for example, if I say that here 3.1.2, I have, for example, before findings for example, yeah, I have here, I have, let's say second phase. Apa ni? Enter. Alright, I want to put second. Subkan second lagi lah. I nak buat third phase. Third phase. Buat apa? Interview pula. Right? So this should be heading, right? Heading 1, 2 or 3. Third phase interview. Anyone?
Heading
Heading 1, heading 2 or heading 3? Should be heading 3 lah. Because it's under research participant. We have first phase, second phase, now we have the third phase. So bila I click kat situ, see automatically is included. So you tak payah nak redo or retype your punya numbering. Alright? I know that there are students yang tak datang kelas ni, dia akan type lah 3.1.3, lepas tu nanti missing. Yeah? So that's how you do because the formatting is there. Alright? Okay. So now we have done all the formatting, not the formatting lah, the numbering ya. So let's see now. Alright. Okay. Kenapa macam ada bunyi-bunyi suara? Is it lagging? Okay. Alright. So for research participant here, alright, do you like this format? Unless it's required by the journal article, alright. But I see that, I don't want this format. Alright, for level 2, in this case, this research participant is level 2. Alright, I want it to be on the left side, right? Left, and then I don't want it to be italics, and it should be font is 12, for example. So how should I change that? Anyone? How do I change this formatting so that it becomes left, for example, left, kita panggil apa? Left justified. Is it left justified? How to do that? Anyone?
Modify.
So you can do that immediately.
Change your style.
You modify. So how you want it to be? Modify, it should be left. For example, I don't want it to be italics. I normally in my italics ni kalau jarang lah academic writing ni use a lot of italics. Alright, so normally it's a normal font lah. But I still want it to be bold, right? And then I also want to check on the formatting. Alright, the paragraph here, see after that dia macam 3.18. So I don't want that. Alright, so it means that kalau macam ni dia to the right hand side lah, right? Dia akan move ke sana. I want it to be 0. So I will just change this to 0. Okay. Should it be hanging or not? The title, the heading. What do you mean by hanging? What do you mean by first line? What do you mean by none? Tadi first line kita dah buat. What do you mean by first line?
First line is the regular paragraph form, whereas hanging is the APA formatting.
Again, first line is the
Is it
normal
hanging?
paragraph form. What we did just now for first line, for our paragraph. Kita buat first line kan? So what happens bila you click first line?
The first line is indented.
The first word of the paragraph is indented. Right?
Yes, yes.
So that it means by first line. Kalau hanging, the whole paragraph will be indented. Alright? But if I want it, I don't want it to be indented. So remember, this time we're talking about heading 2. Yeah? So I don't want it to be indented. I just want it to be on the left side. So I will just click OK. So the spacing is okay for me. It's okay with me. Yeah? It's still double. Alright? Okay. So I click OK and OK here. Then you see that your 3.1 now is already on the left side. Right? And if you look at 3.1, 5.1 will also be automatically updated. Right? But you see that apa beza 3.1 dengan 5.1?
It's 7 o'clock.
What's the difference? Apa different?
What?
3.1 and 5.1.
Caps lock.
The caps lock. So now you have to decide, you nak caps lock ke you tak nak caps lock? So you have to be consistent lah. Kalau you tak nak caps lock, what should you do? You change lah. Right? So let's say that we want it to be, okay. Macam mana yang tukar benda ni daripada apa panggil ni capital letter. You want it to be R is capital, others are small, and P is also capital. So are you going to retype that? Anyone will retype?
Yes.
You retype. Okay, good. Good confession. What you should do is that you see this. Do you see this? You have Times New Roman, font 12, capital. Whether you want it to be bigger. So that's what you do, right? Nampak tak? So this one you can actually reduce tadi lah. Sebab kita dah set 12 kan? Alright. So this one actually you go here and then you can have it as a sentence case. Bila sentence case means that only the first letter is capitalized. Alright. Or you want it to be capitalized each word. Right. So you have to be consistent in your thesis. Right, kalau you 3.1 you capitalize each word, so you click lah kat situ, right? Capitalize each word, right? Or if you want it to be uppercase, alright, so you actually when you're talking about this is a formatting, right? So you format you punya heading. So by right you should not change that macam ni, right? You should change dekat style kat sini. Right, for example, heading 2, modify. Alright, then because this one you're talking about the font, so you have to go to the font lah. Right, so whether you want it to be tak keluar. Okay, keluar. Okay, so whether you want it to be all caps, then you boleh click all caps kat situ. So whenever, even though kalau you kecil, dia akan jadi besar je, dia akan jadi capital. Alright, or you want it to be small cap, tapi ni you tak boleh choose to be capitalize each word. Dia tak ada benda tu. Yeah. So I don't want it to be small cap, so all cap, so I tak buat lah. Okay. So I want it to be I will just do that correction kat sini lah. I click here and then I will capitalize each word. Yeah. So in your PCs, alright, you make sure that kalau you capitalize each word, so every heading in this case heading 2, you capitalize each word. Yeah. Ada bila capitalize each word, alright, be aware that, for example, those what we call words such as off and or all these small, right? Only the others, right? For example, if you have the in the middle, all these are small. But your other than that, the noun is capital letter lah, right? So what about your level 3? Should you modify? Yes. You also want to modify level 3. I always go for black color. So ini nampak but actually it's blue color gitu ya, dark blue. So I want to change to automatic, means that automatically become black lah. Right, and the font here, I don't want here ada Times New Roman kat sana jadi Cambria, no. The whole document kalau you pakai Times New Roman, make sure it's Times New Roman. Times New Roman ada dua ya, sini heading, kat sini Times New Roman lah. So I will just do Times New Roman 12, and I want to be bold, alright. And I think that the formatting for paragraph, always check this, alright. So I don't want it to be hanging, I want it to be none. Going to be on the left side, right? Alignment for heading pun left juga lah, yeah. And then this one tengok, before 2 points, so make it 6 lah, right? So maknanya kalau heading besar, you have 12 just now, 12, or maybe level 3 you just have 6, or if you want to have 12 point, it's okay lah, right? So let's make it 6 only lah sebab dia dah level 3. Right, so normally, right, you can have level 1, level 2, level 3, and then level 4 normally you jangan pakai 3.1, 1.1 lagi lah. Alright, so normally bila dah level 4 tu, I dah tukar jadi A, B, C, D. Alright, so that we don't want to have so many numbers kat depan sana. Right, so bila I tukar ni 3.11, I punya 3.12 pun automatically updated. Alright, so you don't have to choose lah. So bila you buka benda ni, if you close, you don't see that petrol station. But if you open it, because bila you editing, you want to see where you might have, alright, entered your return key, right, unnecessarily. Okay. Question? So fast. So I nak masuk kah? Let me. Any questions so far? Am I too fast? Muka am I gelap? Sekejap.
You are very good, madam. You have understood everything.
Alright.
Thank you.
Alright, that's good. We have many more to learn ni. Right? So for those that have not used this before, I hope that, right, so far you have learned something which will make a lot of difference to your life. Okay? Alright. So now is 7 o'clock. Do you need a break? I've been talking for 1 hour. Do you have any question? I'm sorry I did not give you an earlier break. If you are going to have to break, we're going to give you a 5 minutes break only. Then we sambung until maghrib. Do you need a break?
Yes, madam.
Okay, I give you 5 minutes break. Yeah, I'll be back soon.
Okay, thank you, madam.
All right, coming back. All right, 5 minutes break ends. We'll continue a bit more until Maghrib, and then we stop for Maghrib prayer. Then we continue as soon as possible because we have so many things to cover ni. Nanti you tak sempat nak habiskan thesis you. Yeah. All right. Where were we? All right. What we have done so far is that we have actually learned how to use styles. All right. In this case, we have used style for the paragraph. We have used style for heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3. And then we also have modified, all right, the style for paragraph for the heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3. All right. Is there any question that you are not sure of so far? Are you okay?
So far
Okay.
okay, Dr.
Yeah, all right. So the next one is that I want you to look into a table. All right. So when you have table, for example, the one, okay, before I go into table, you see that in this here on page 4, all right, I have research approach at the bottom. Yeah. So bila ada macam ni, it doesn't look nice. All right. So there's a way for you to ensure that whenever you have new text, all right, which for example, you don't want in your thesis, at the bottom, you only have one line of new paragraph, and then then it continues to the next page. It doesn't look nice, all right? Especially if you have your headings, all right, at the bottom of the page, and then suddenly, all right, the content is in the following page. So you do not want to have that. So what you can do actually, all right, similarly is still under modify. So this one is heading 1, right? So we're going to modify heading 1. All right, we're going to modify that. So just now, when we modify the paragraph. All right. So what I want you to modify now is that I want you to look into, all right, we can go into paragraph. Are you following? All right. So just now we look into the indents and spacing. So what I want you to click now is that we go to the second option, which is line and page break. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. So bila you pergi line and page break, just now remember the problem is that you do not want your heading, right, to be on the last line of the page, or you do not want to have paragraph 2 or 3 lines of your paragraph on the last page, right? So you want, whenever there's a new, then you go immediately, automatically it goes to the next page. So what you have here is that you want it to be keep with text, all right? And then keep lines together. So you just stick on that, right? So we'll see what happened, right? We click on that, okay, right? And then I click okay. So see what happened. So it tell you tell the the computer words that okay, if you have a problem like this, all right, automatically go to the next page. You see that? So now you see that kalau for tadi I tak sempat nak tengok ada tak benda yang macam ada satu line kat bawah tu, so dia akan automatically goes to the next page. So nice lah you punya thesis tu nanti, ya. Yeah? So do you get what I'm trying to show you here? Yeah, so
Yes.
it akan automatically goes to the next page. So okay, another issues is that for example here, alright, this is more common bila for example you buat, okay, text ni I tak tukar jadi title ya. So let's kita buat title kat atas tu. Style kita pilih title. Okay, let's choose title there. Right? But I don't like this title punya format. I always want to change. Right? Sometimes it's just that why does it look like that title? I want it to be centered. Right? And then yeah, that looks good enough. Alright? Times New Roman 12 centered. Okay lah, nampak cantik lah. Okay, so this is where, for example, do you want it to be, right, the title, right, is it going to be capitalized each word, or is it going to be sentence case? Okay, so let me tell you, for example, APA style, right, so whenever you have a referencing, so let's say reference here, for example, right, so we have here the first paper, Abdul Jabbar, for example, yeah. All right, you know that this one is a thesis. I want to look at the paper. Ada paper. Ada paper tak? Mana ni ah? For example here, yeah. This one is a journal, right? So when you do referencing, all right, again, it's always garbage in, garbage out, yeah. So the title of the paper will always be in a sentence case. Sentence case means that, so this one the title of the paper, right? If you do it manually, like you type manually, all right, make sure that you type in that as a sentence case. All right, means that all must be small letter except this, the first letter, the first word is big. And then, of course, and whenever you have semicolon here, then the first word will be big, capital letter. Other than that, it's all small letter. So kita panggil ni sebagai sentence case, yeah. So kalau APA, that's how it has to be. So when you import, for example, if you're using Mendeley ke, you pakai EndNote ke, when you import the documents or when you import the citation, right? So you have to make sure that what is imported, alright, you correct that. For example, katalah tajuk ni dia pakai capital letter, then you change that into sentence letter. So when, for example, if you use EndNote or Mendeley, so when you import, you put that into your in-text citation, it will appear in your references. Then, alright, you'll see that it's correctly imported into your document. Yeah? So that is one. Okay. So okay, now let's imagine your thesis. Alright. So normally, do you see that, for example, your chapter 1 is your introduction. Chapter 2 is your literature, isn't it? So how can, but here, all right, let's assume this is your thesis lah. All right. Your literature here, all right, okay, it happened that, oh, ada kat atas tu ada research lah seketul tu. Literature ni sepatutnya in a new page. All right. So how can you make sure that whenever you have heading 1, it always start on a new page rather than you control enter. Right? Control enter means that kalau you control enter ni, control enter means that you buat page break. So you boleh command control enter. So you akan ada page break kat atas. You see that? There's a page break. Means that it's a you force it to go to the next page. Alright? So that's what we call page break. So you can do that, but there's a better way for you to do that automatically rather than every time ada heading 1 you nak kena tekan page break, alright, or you command enter. So what you can actually do, this one is also applicable in your thesis. Kalau paper, it's not so much because, right, it's a continuous. But if your heading 1 always start on a new page, alright, similarly, you go to the style. Here is heading 1. You modify the style. Alright, format, still go to paragraph. And still go to the second one, and then you see this page before, so you click on that, alright? So when you have clicked on this page before, so you're doing on heading 1, whenever you have heading 1, you will have a break before. So you will automatically have a new page whenever you are the heading 1. So let's try this and see what happened to your documents. I click OK and OK, then what you see is that you have introduction here, right? And then you have literature review on the new page. See? Ni pun automatically dia dah betulkan. Yeah? And then research approach is also on the new page. Findings here is on new page. So walaupun dia jauh sebelum ni, third phase tadi I add in, right? So this one is level 3, but whenever you start to the level 1, dia akan automatically start a new page. Alright, so this one is relevant in your thesis. Yeah, so whenever you have level 1, dia akan new page, reference pun dia akan jadi new page lah. Right, cuma reference normally tak ada numbering. So I will just delete that, right? But still okay, right? Dia still dalam heading 1. It's just that dia tak ada numbering je kat situ. You can just delete macam tu je, right? Okay, are you okay now? Right, so hopefully you have learn new things today. So now I want to look into your table. right? So in your thesis or whenever you submit paper for your publication, you have to know what is the requirement of the paper in terms of the writing style or in terms of the citation style, right? So I believe in the area of accounting, right, we normally apply what we call APA style. Anyone who has never heard of APA style or you have never applied APA style, right? So what is it actually is that how the style, all right, the document has to follow certain convention. So APA stand for American Psychological Association, Psychology Association, something like that, APA, yeah? So means that you have to use this style in your thesis. I believe that the CPS also requires you for your master and PhD to follow APA style. So because it will be applied in your thesis, all right, it's a compulsory for you to learn what is APA style. Because if APA style says that, okay, table should be prepared in this form, then you have to follow that format for APA style in your thesis. Similarly, kalau APA style kata, okay, heading must be justified or middle, it has to be centered, for example, then you have to follow, right? Or how the numbering should be. So you have to follow that APA style, right? So I have given you here the link to APA style, right? And you can actually have a reading on this because it's very important for your thesis. Yeah. During my PhD, I actually bought the APA punya manual, right? To ensure that I follow, because last time during that time tak adalah everything Google, right? So my time still dinosaur time. So I bought the handbook, the APA manual. So I always refer to that to ensure that my thesis is according to the required style, right? So you can refer to the link here, all right? And then in the meantime, okay, it shows that, for example, for the table, this is a table that should look like in your thesis. All right, it's not like the table with all the lines everywhere. All right, so it's look very professional here. All right, you see that APA table, we always have certain lines only, and always the diagonal line. All right, and that is separate. Maybe the total, we have another line up, top and bottom lines for the total. There's no left and right lines. You see, and then the table one. See how the table number. And then you have the table title should be like that, right? So we're going to look at how to put the caption for the table. But first, let's look at how can we format our table, which look very nasty now, right? I don't like it now. It looks very bad. So how can I format my table? All right, so I will click at the top left here. We have this arrow. Okay, click on that. So it will select the whole table. All right. So this table looks very chaotic because just now we have choose the paragraph as a double line. Sorry, double spacing, justify, and whatever lah. Right. So we have to. Not repair lah, reformat lah this table, yeah. So how are you going to reformat that? They don't have style for table, yeah. You don't have table punya style ni, table paragraph. Let's try click this. Apa jadi? Tak jadi apa-apa pun. Right? So let's try. I don't think there is a table here. Right? So let's do it manually lah. Alright, so whenever you have table, so that's why when you do this, alright, your thesis, you have to set the format from the very beginning so that whenever you have table, you already know the format. So tak adalah the whole thesis 200 pages baru nak format everything, right? Even though you say that, oh, I can pay people to do that, alright, it's your thesis, right? You should do it yourself. You only get help from the editors or the proofreader for the final, right? So do it yourself. Okay, let's do this. Okay, first is on the issue is the paragraph. All right. So here you see the button here, or is for paragraphing. All right, it's similar to the one that we just did, but this one is outside the style. Yeah, it's outside the style. So we do this manually. Let's go to line spacing option. So you go to the same, all right, the same box that we had just done before. So how are you going to have that alignment? So let's have the alignment is on the, let's see, all right, generally we want it to be, no, kita buat centered. All right. And more importantly, kita tak nak, we don't want a space in between because the table should be single spacing and there's no space in between. So that's why we click 0, 0 before and after. Are you okay? All right. In terms of the, this one, there's none. All right. It's no, we don't want anything here. So it's very simple table where centered everything. All right, and then a single spacing and there's no space in between. Yeah, so let's click OK. What happened? Then you see that your table now looks more promising, isn't it? Right? So it looks better. But what else do you have to amend? The presentation of the table according to APA. So APA says that, okay, I don't want all these lines. I only have line for the topic and the total. How do you do that? I only have line for the topic, I mean the total at the top and the bottom only. In this case, so what should I do? How to remove all the lines in the table?
Format table.
Format table. Where is format table? Tell me, which button should I click on? Which is format table? I don't see format table. Kat mana? Ini? Layout. Layout is for the table.
Home.
Home? Okay. Ha, apa tu?
And then
We want to remove all the lines in the table.
Is it table design?
Sorry?
Table design?
Table design. Okay, kita tengok table design. You nak buat apa sekarang ni ya? Ni ada kotak. Ini apa ni? Boleh pilih? Oh, ada kotak juga. I don't want that. Apa option yang ada? Ada tak yang kosong? Tak ada. Ini semua color-color. Right? In your thesis is always black and white. So tak ada. Alright? So actually senang je. You pergi kat home. Alright? Remember, I want to remove the lines, the border. So I just pergi kat sini. You see this? This box? Okay? Which one should I choose? I choose no border first. So I remove all the borders. So you see, there's no border no more. Okay? So how do I, now what I want to do is that I only need the first line to have top and bottom lines, and the total at the bottom also we have lines there. So I will just choose this. All right, I click and then choose the whole line. Okay, and I will choose bottom border and top border. You see, then you have that lines lah. Similarly, I will choose this total and last line. I will just choose like that. Right? In my case, I pakai shift. I do not know how you can choose that. All right. Similarly, I will just go for top line and then bottom border. Dia panggil border ya, bukan lines. Okay. So that's look like APA. All right. So but what I want to check again. All right. So you nampak tak benda ni? All right. This table. Okay. You can further improve the presentation of this table by choosing the numbers here, right? You boleh jadikan dia, you nampak kat sini ada layout, alright? This one is in table layout, alright? So for this kind of presentation for the table, I normally choose, dia ada kat sini, nampak tak? This option ni kat sini, it shows that, okay, in each row or column, how you want the content to appear. Is it top, aligned to top center, or top left, top right? Or you want it to be align to center. So that I always choose that so that I punya tu nampak kemas. Right? So 5 ni, because Seremban Negeri ni, you have 2 lines actually. So the number is centered. Right? Johor Bahru pun dia ada 2 lines, so centered. Penang, so tapi kenapa Penang dengan number 8? Right? Is it centered or not? It's not. Why? Because you only format this column. Right? You have not format this column. So what I would do is that for this column pun I akan ambil format yang kat sini lah. You see? Now Penang now satu line dengan Penang 880. Kuantan 844. Right? So remember that because APA dia tak nak lines, too many lines. Only the top lines and the bottom lines. Okay? So if you look at the APA style here, you have total lines kat sini. Here if you have more option, then you have girls and boys with and without. So ada line. Right? But numbers here, there's no line except for the totality. Right? And you see that the first line, the first column is also centered. Right? And others are also centered. Right? I akan sakit hati. Alright? I will feel very bad if I see that the numbers here, right? You see that numbers here, sometimes ada the border pun, dia pergi letak, for example, right hand side. You see? So nampak sakit hati kan? It doesn't look nice, right? So you know that, okay, this one looks better bila dia kat centered, right? So make sure that whenever you present, right, the presentation is nice to the eyes of the reader, alright? Remember that examiner will read your article. So this one pun, alright, so nampak tak? 6 female, 4 female ni tak untuk siapa dah. So betulkan balik. Alright, you put it centered like that. So you see that, okay? Untuk Kuala Lumpur ada 660. But Kuala Lumpur, everyone is all 6 females. Tak ada male. Right, yang lain semua ada male and female. KL je. Alright, 6 female. Okay. Alright, are you okay?
Okay.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Alright. So check further on the requirement. Okay. So what you want to do next is that, alright, every table, every figure in your thesis or in your documents must have name, right? For example, here, I already have the name of the table. Table 1, key profile of focus group participants, right? So,
okay, Dr. K.
Yeah.
I think we have a break for prayer first.
Alright, okay, bagus juga tu. 11:35. So how long do we have a break? How long should we have break?
I don't know. Normally, how long do you all have break?
8 o'clock, okay kot?
Yes, until 8.
Okay, Doctor.
Okay. Break until 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Alright, I'll see you again next time at 8 p.m. inshallah.
Okay, Doctor.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Doctor, thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Let me stop recording.